to c3 in response to the Sicilian defense is referred to as the Alapin Sicilian. My recommendation is to play knight to f6. With white's pawn already on c3, white cannot reply to defend the pawn on e4 with knight to c3 themselves. White then has four main choices in how to defend the pawn. If white plays pawn to d3, I recommend playing knight to c6, followed by a fast follow-up pawn to d5. If white plays queen to e2, I recommend locking up the center with pawn to e5. If white attempts bishop to d3, I also recommend locking up the center with pawn to e5. If white tries queen to c2, I recommend queen to c7, discouraging white from playing an immediate pawn to d4. Finally, the most intuitive and common move from white, seen in nearly 80% of all Alapin games, is pushing the white pawn to e5, threatening the knight on f6, to which black replies with knight to d5. This resembles an Alekhine defense, but with a white pawn on c3 and a black pawn on c5, which benefits black's control of the center. From here, there are many options for white, including pawn to d4, where I recommend taking the pawn c takes d4. There's knight to f3, which I recommend pawn to d6, attacking white's pawn on e5. And there's bishop to c4, attacking black's knight on d5, in which I recommend knight to b6, counterattacking white's bishop on c4. The main idea in these various lines for black are mostly the same: to capture the pawn on d4 when it is played there, followed by pushing their own pawn to d6 to challenge white's control of the center with their pawn on e5. I will delve into these specific lines in a later video, but until then, please like and follow for more Sicilian theory for noobs.